Live.
Hi, hello,
Oh,
friends.
wait, no, shoot. Hang on. I forgot.
I'm a dungeon master.
Yep.
I see us.
Hi, hello,
If we're not
friends.
live,
Listen,
I see us.
We can still talk. Well, this is fine.
Okay.
Just give me one
Just
moment.
pay no attention.
Okay.
Hey, no
Everyone's
attention
like,
to the
what?
curtain behind the curtain.
And in two quick seconds, it fixed us. I got distracted by art stuff.
Were we in the wrong spots?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
I
were.
was a
Very
dungeon
much so.
master.
Oh, that's what happened. I missed that.
Good.
I missed that piece of context. That would have been the perfect like.
And you were
random,
Jacaranda.
Surprise!
Oh, no.
I don't think I could do Jack justice.
It would be interesting.
It would be very interesting. But I don't think I could do it justice. Hi, hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of The Mind and the Martyr, episode 73, I think. I'm gonna go with it. I'm not looking at the stream, so I'm gonna go with that. That's my educated guess. Hope you're doing well. Hope that the Easter break and all of the wonderful kind of celebrations that were going on during that break found you well, and you got some wonderful rest. I haven't. I have. It's been a bit of chaos behind the scenes, but it's fine. We're good. We roll with the punches, right? Yeah, cool. Before we go ahead and jump into the session here, we do have a few folks that help keep us going and help keep us on the air over here on Friends Who Roll Dice. One of those folks, as you just saw the ad reel go, is the wonderful people at Dice Envy. We also are affiliated with the amazing folks at Grinding Coffee, a Black LGBT plus owned coffee company that you can find at grindingcoffee.co. They do a fantastic mix of various different blends, various different flavor combinations. They're great folks. They're really funny on Twitter. So you should definitely go ahead and follow them there under the same name. And yeah, go ahead and throw in FWRD at checkout for some money off your order. You'll be supporting a amazing independent business, and you'll be helping out forward as well. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. And of course, we are a Roll20 Spotlight stream, which is very, very exciting. I've now just realized that we have an older logo, because we actually have a brand spanking new Roll20 logo to show off that came through a little bit ago that I didn't manage to get to you. I'm sorry, Jesse. Yes, that's going to be fun to go ahead and check out next time. Roll20 is an online toolset that allows you to bring your pen and paper RPGs online to the small screens, as it were. Whether that be signing up for free and going ahead and just using the tool sets there, or paying for a pro account, or one of the other packages that are available for a whole bunch of additional tools, additional features, and occasionally you get some free games too. So like, awesome. Everyone likes free stuff, right? Yeah, you can go ahead and check them out at roll20.net. They also have an incredibly expensive marketplace full of maps, assets, artwork, and entire games, whether that be recently during most of this month, and I think it's still going for the next couple of days. You can go ahead and download Lost Mines of Phandelver and play through that for a little while. There are other D&D supplements on there as well, or if you prefer if you prefer tackling some other systems or some indie games, there's stuff like Pathfinder on there. There's stuff like Thirsty Sword Lesbians, Jiangshi, and other such wonderful indie games as well. So yeah, go ahead and check them out. Roll20. This is how we roll. And with that, let's go ahead and step into tonight's episode. I believe, Rochelle, you had volunteered to do a quick recap. Recap? Recap. I don't know what a recap is, but we'll figure that out at some point, I guess. A quick recap for the folks at home. So yeah, what happened in the last session?
Well, this is how I'm going to do the recap. I'm going to read my notes, which is pretty interesting. So I have that we traveled from Vassalon to Tarkeza.
Going to be traveling from Vassalon to Tarkeza.
Right. From Vassalon to Tarkeza. We haven't gotten on the boat yet. We landed at a lighthouse in Tarkeza? Or in Vassalon? No, we're going to the lighthouse. See, these are notes. We got there, and there's a nice cemetery next to a temple, cathedral type thing. We went shopping. We first stopped at Oriana, who is a healer merchant, who is a fennec fox shifter. See, those are good notes. And we made friends. We bought some items, and we also made a deal that if Dewan needed anything in the future and needed a line of credit with Oriana, she could come back and get stuff without having to pay right then, just in case Mara's not around. We were told
to me.
by Oriana that there was a ship heading towards Tarkeza, and that the cabin boy had come and got some healer items from her that they need on the boat. So we went to the boat, and it was the maiden voyage, and the crew wears green and white sashes, like scouts, like the Boy Scouts, I assume? Girl Scouts? I just have scouts.
Like the scouts. Pretty accurate.
It could be like Aragorn. I have no idea. Like scouts. The captain is Captain Vorman Truehorn. He's a tall Goliath. I have no idea what this next thing means. It just says Matthew and Fuchsia. No idea.
That's our
Phoenix
mounts.
eggs. Oh, do we also have Phoenix eggs?
Oh, right.
We did get Phoenix eggs.
That's the mounts. We do have Phoenix eggs, but those are the mounts.
Jesse's mount is Matthew.
Matthew.
And
my
mount
okay.
is
Listen,
Fuchsia.
I don't remember the name of everybody's pets.
But the two eggs that we got a purple and a pink, which fuchsia is basically purpley pink, and they're ice and electric.
Arctic.
Mm-hmm.
Arctic or electric?
Okay,
I put arc, so I'm assuming that means
Oh,
electric.
yeah. A cryo phoenix and an arc phoenix. I assume, like, kind of fantasy type thing. But anyway, so then we split up. And Dewan and Nali went to go to the hunter's camp to buy some things. And Jacaranda and Mara went to the magic shop that had Kata's picture on it but faded. And when we were in the magic shop, there was an avian fairy who sold us a garden in a box.
Mm-hmm.
For really, really, really cheap.
And nothing you say will convince me that did not work. Didn't work there. Wasn't there. Swindled you.
Like,
but all we paid was like
glass.
We paid like 100 gold and
some glass.
And glass, yeah.
So she
broken
glass.
She still made out with Bake, whoever's store that was stolen from.
Yes. Probably.
And I have the name Pistachio written down. Not
Yes.
sure who that was.
That's
That the avian
name
fairy?
Of the fairy. Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so the
The
avian
fairy
fairy's
called
name is
themselves
Pistachio.
Yes.
Pistachio. Oh, and while we were visiting the captain, Evan, my brother-in-law, had sent us funds, and so he has Mad Bank with us. And Dewan and Nawi bought or traded for, because I don't think funds were actually traded for.
Yes.
Some diamonds. Traded the armor I had made out of the Hydra skin and some other stuff.
Did you guys get the black powder?
Yeah.
So black powder that will undo petrification.
Yeah.
The gland could create a salve to prevent Hydra heads from growing back. They can also create fuel for an elemental weapon that Dewan just knows about because Dewan reads everything. There was a settlement where this was happening and it detonated and created a crater, which we should go to and see what that's about.
Right. And we have a couple more hours before the boat leaves, and that's where we begin today's session.
Essentially, I love reading through notes, like
notes are great.
when there's a random break in between sessions. So it's like, oh yeah, I've written all of this stuff down in shorthand, thinking I'd remember the context. I do not remember the context.
I like it in shorthand because it's like when it becomes relevant, it like flashes to you.
Right.
You're like, orange sword, black hair ? And then like you see a person walking with an orange sword and black hair, like, oh my fucking god, it's the dude.
Yes. It'll hit you eventually, absolutely, and it'll be a very solid memory that pops up. Agree. Okay, cool. So before we go ahead and make our way back to the boats, you go ahead and the downtime shopping kind of just happens in the background, like if you wanted to refill rations or pick up any minor tools or anything like that, then you absolutely can. There was something significant that a member of the party wanted to do. So, Mara, I'll hand over to you.
So Mara would split up with Jacaranda. She would say, I have something I need to go do, so I'll just see you back at the boat. I'm pretty sure you want to investigate your new box anyway. And then she would leave, and then Mara would head to the cathedral, and she would enter it, and she would kind of hum to herself while she's looking around at the different, because you described it that there are different areas for different gods, right?
There's smaller shrines, like towards the sides, that are for the vacant pantheon, the traditional vacant pantheon, and then the section that takes up the most space is this very large open shrine, which isn't dedicated to a specific god. It just seems to be a general, like, universal shrine.
So she would head towards that open area, and she would sit down, still humming to herself, and then she would basically say in her head, not out loud, and not to the rings. She'd be like, don't know if I can keep them safe. If anyone is listening, if you care about this world, if you care about me and my friends, I'm going to need help keeping them safe. The things that are coming for us from this other place. They were only stalked before by people way mightier than us, by beings that had so much power. What am I but a small insect compared to them? How am I going to be able to keep everyone safe? Please, I beseech thee, help me however you can. And she would just sit there and listen.
The words seem to almost tumble and echo throughout your mind as you kind of internally speak them. There's this very strong feeling and sense of weight around what you're saying here. You wait and wait. Doesn't seem to be any direct response, but a slight wind begins to blow. You watch as a small, almost looks like a petal of sorts, kind of just flies over your shoulder, carries in the wind for a moment before dropping into the shrine. The shrine itself is essentially just this large bowl of water, as it were, with a few like little statues and decorations throughout, but is mostly plain. And this petal just drops, just sits there in the water. That breeze fades. There's nothing else that happens.
You would sit there for a while longer. Does the petal sink or does it stay like floating on top of the water?
Just stays afloat there. Seems to be just slightly crinkled on the side, but just floats in the water there. That's all. You wait.
You would get up and she would nod towards the bowl and then she would turn and leave.
Okay. Your travel back to your companions is uneventful.
What? No one jumps out for me to murder? Come on.
You're muted.
Okay. I thought it was me. I'm like, did I hit my earbud?
Yeah.
What's going on?
It just got very awkwardly quiet.
Technology. Whatever. Yeah, so you all eventually go ahead and meet up. You deal with your last little bits and pieces of business / preparation, and grab a few rations, one last good meal before you travel on the seas for an extended amount of time, and yeah, unless there's any other specific business that people would like to handle, you can go ahead and approach Vorm again.
I'm gonna buy fish. like
Okay.
well wrapped up fish. Well, we're going
Okay.
after cats, so I figure maybe they'd like fish.
Wait, why are you buying fish now when we're going to be on a ship?
But it's only going to take
Like
a couple days
living-
to get there.
Living fish.
I'm not going
like
to fish
a
myself.
little fish tank.
I can fish.
I'm not going to fish myself.
I could fish.
Okay, it's fine.
We don't want.
If
we
you want to
don't-
fish.
We don't want to give them dried fish. The salt content could injure their tummies.
Okay.
I love the care that's being put into this. It makes me very happy. Sweet, cool. So, arriving back at the ship, it looks like the cargo that they're transporting is already packed and ready to go. Vorman stands very clearly directing a few individuals over by the helm of the ship. They catch you, kind of just give you a little signed wave before turning back around, muttering something to someone, and then moving into their place at the wheel of the ship. They seem to just wait there for a moment, taking a look at the horizon, keeping an eye on the sky above. There isn't exactly... Sorry, go on.
Is it still raining?
Yeah.
You hear
And-
Mara mutter, "Damn it! I got the swimsuit. Can't even sunbathe. 'Cause it's freaking raining."
And it's turned from like a drizzle to a light downpour at this point. Like it's starting to rain properly as you jump on. And taking a look at the ship, there's been a small section that's kind of been carved out for you, in the regular hold of the ship, in the most modest way possible. There's like this shower curtain that's been like pulled across a section of the bunks to give a little bit of a section away. There's a few hammocks there for yourselves that have been set up in preparation, but not really any super privacy by any means. This isn't a luxury vessel. It's a nice vessel.
I have a very
but still a
important
low
question
vessel. Mhm.
to Jacaranda, will you be okay?
That's
I
exactly
was
what I
going
was
to
just
say
thinking.
the
Like,
same thing.
I don't know if you saw my face, but that was me realizing, what am I gonna do? So I might check out my little greenhouse and see if there's a big pot in there for me
I
and
have
how
some
long I can
dirt
stay in
in
it.
a bag.
Yes. I can. I'll ask someone if they have a bucket, or two large.
I'm not asking anyone. I find a bucket. It's a ship.
I was gonna say it's a ship. If there's
Just
no
I find
bucket.
I find a bucket and I pour out whatever's on it directly onto the floor.
I put some
can-
of those little energy beads I got.
Yeah. Yeah. You can
Just
find
perlite.
empty ones, nice and easy. Yeah,
Okay.
nothing to worry about there. It's a ship. Most of the buckets that are there are not going to be in use, at least not for a little while.
Hopefully not ever.
You're good in that regard. You can set up this very small, rather cramped, but functional place to rest for yourself. There is a small, like, porthole on the wall for, like, the tiniest little bit of natural light that you can kind of just squeeze yourself into and just be like,
It's like those plants that like slowly grow like towards the window.
yeah. Exactly that. But
She
yeah.
still has sunstones, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
But they can't replace the real deal.
Exactly.
Someone can have the hammock that is for me if you need to have extra space, I will sleep here. And she like pats the ground.
Your back is going to be so sore.
Oh no, it's okay. I am good at sleeping in lots of places. It's one of my skills.
I will take the hammock if you don't mind.
Oh no, of course, please. I am very limber. I will be fine.
And here, while I use your hammock, Donald's gonna pull out the pillow out of her freaking Mary Poppins bag of holding.
Oh, yes, that's why we made this thing, huh? Well,
Yes.
I made it.
For hard surfaces.
Or if Mara, if you don't want your hammock, you can use this.
I was just gonna lay on Shikari.
Oh, that is a good idea. You're right. And I Colin Lupa Mara used a pillow.
Oh yes, I have a wolf.
All right, I have a mobile bed.
It's like me and Shikari are used to just hanging out. But I do have questions for you, Naui.
Oh, yes.
So, Shikari has agreed to become my permanent Eidolon. So,
Oh,
like,
that's
is
great.
there some sort of ceremony or something? Is it just supposed to happen?
I would be real. Mine happened.
Am I gonna get hit by lightning and then all of a sudden I'll know what's
Well,
gonna...
if you get hit by lightning and then you die, then it will be much easier.
Well, I hopefully do not have to die for Shikari to become my
No, I mean,
Maybe it
I
already
I
happened.
think dying once is enough for both of you until we're well into our old age. Agreed?
I will do my best.
I tried to dodge.
Dodge better.
Dodge a dragon, you can dodge a ball.
40s, duck, dive, dragon, dodge.
Get better, scrub.
So most people, they just kind of have them. Like they find each other and they have them. Lupa is special because I did not have one, and then I found her. So maybe I'm her Eidolon. Because technically I found her, she did not find me.
Mara would cast Speak with Animal.
Is this
Any
true?
advice from you, Luke?
Lupa opens one eye. I mean, she is right. I did die for it to work, so...
I don't want Shikari to die.
Well, it is less than ideal. But
And Mara just has this look on her face. I don't want Shikari to die. It's just... No.
Naui and me are an unconventional sort, even for the Veil. And her being my keeper, I'm not sure how other people do things, because the girl's pretty flighty. You're the people she's stayed with the longest by far, so...
Okay. So when you
You could
became bonded, did like lightning hit you? What happened?
Oh
Was
no!
it
So
painful?
I felt nothing because I was in the cold embrace of the beyond, and then I felt something, and then I was awake, and now I was there. Was pretty much it. It was it felt like the sun giving you a hug.
Well, I like hugs. I don't know about the sun giving me a hug,
What?
but I like hugs.
Oh. You said you don't know about like liking the sun.
I hate the sun.
I mean, the sun's okay. It's kind of far away. Well, all three of them are kind of far away, but
It felt like that, and then I was awake, and me and Naui could talk, and the rest is kind of history. Well, she explained to me that she had died before and wanted to make sure I was okay and all that stuff, but the rest of it's kind of history.
So back in the Vale, how do they normally have Eidolon bonds? Does everyone have to die?
No, usually you just sort of find each other and you stay together, and it's one of those veiled things. People don't fully understand it. Some people have a ritual just to kind of make it official, as it were, but there's no rites or anything. You just sort of...
Does Nevin have to be involved?
I couldn't tell you one way or the other. I'm personally, I don't know if they exist, frankly, but now he doesn't like when I talk like that.
Okay. Me and Shikari will figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, if you've already
I just hope he
agreed,
doesn't have to die.
Oh, no, you doesn't have to. Again, we just...
I'm used to it, but I don't want him to have to die.
Well, if he does, just know you'll be able to save him.
Dawn mutters to Jack Granite. Mara's throwing the word die around a lot, and I don't like it. I think we need more diamonds.
Well, we've gotten some. I think for now, is this enough? This is probably enough for each of us to die at least once.
I have already died once. Do not worry about me.
But when Lupa says that about Mara will be able to save Shikari, Mara gets really quiet and says, "Okay, thanks," and just goes and lays down with Shikari.
You're welcome, I think. I don't understand people. And Lupa, like... Oof, it like dog flops over and goes to sleep.
Wait, wasn't Naui on top of her?
She's like next to her.
Dog flops on top of Naui.
I mean, Naui wouldn't mind that either.
Basically just a heated blanket at that point, right?
Very warm.
Like, yeah.
Heated, weighted blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Bliss.
All right. The general atmosphere is pretty calm, pretty controlled. These individuals are relatively disciplined, and you can kind of tell, even with just a very, very, very basic knowledge of sailing, that they seem to be running on a skeleton crew of sorts. There's only a few individuals actually here in comparison to how many people this ship could possibly hold. There's about 8 bunks that remain empty, undecorated, and without any kind of belongings attached to them. But yeah, the ship is organized. It sets sail without too much turbulence, thankfully. And I would like to, I'd like someone to roll a travel roll for me. So if someone can roll a d20, we shall see how smoothly this journey goes for me.
13.
I thought you said 8.
I thought it was an 18 because it was glared.
Okay. Cool. The first half a day or so, although a little soggy, is not particularly eventful. Thankfully, the ship has been built incredibly well, so there's very minimal leakage through the decks themselves, but it does become a little bit soggy over time. Nothing too major, perfectly controllable, but not exactly pleasant. There is the slight rolling of a distant sound that begins to kind of build in the sky, and eventually you see through the few little portholes down here the strikes of bluish purple lightning that streaks across the sky. The wind, thankfully, hasn't picked up too much. There's not a lot in the way of disruption, there we go, or turbulence or anything like that, but the weather itself does seem to be getting a little worse. The rain itself becomes heavier. There's a little more dark cloud patches in the sky, and these rolls of thunder and lightning become more and more frequent as you continue to travel. But for the most part, the rest of the day goes without a hitch.
But when it's pretty turbulent, Mara would go around to the party and show a drawing of the purple cat. See, this is what we're gonna go get. She's trying to keep them all inspired. Remember, we're gonna go get the person who hurt this cat.
The lengths that y'all will go, I'm here for it.
This is a cat party, you know it.
I mean, yes, this is just a pet party in general, like, absolutely. I'm just gonna get one more roll from people, just to see how the rest of the journey goes.
Oh no. 4.
Okay.
This ship sinks. Thanks.
Lightning crashes, ship on fire, everyone does.
This turns into Atlantis.
We need adventure on our adventure, okay? Okay, but Atlantis side quest would be... Anyways.
There is a little bit of rocking through the next day or so of travel as the waves begin to pick up just a little bit. There's a little bit more of a full-blown storm here now. Not uncontrollable, but for those of you that don't quite have your sea legs, it's definitely uncomfortable as the journey continues. Until the night of the third day, where things finally begin to calm down a little bit. The waves begin to relax, the wind seems to calm itself, the thunder and lightning eventually begin to roll backwards, and you find yourself in this thick miasma of sorts, as there is this rolling mist that seems to cover across most things. Not heavy enough to majorly obstruct your view, but it is definitely kind of like forming and swirling around the ship to the degree where things are pretty obscured from a 50, 60 foot distance away. And the crew themselves seem a little on edge and begin to kind of fall into this rigid training they very clearly have been through. They start kind of snapping at each other at small disagreements and things. And eventually, one of you would catch the, or all of you, I don't know, depends how observant you feel like being, you would catch the cabin boy kind of tying up some kind of strange bracelet around his arm, and once he's kind of fastened it in place, he clasps his hands together and mutters a few words under his breath, and you can see him kind of visibly a little shaken before he takes a deep breath and comes up topside and rejoins the crew that he was with on the deck of the ship.
I'm going up.
Okay. All right.
I look at I think they are going to need help. I am going.
Dawan, after the previous day's rolling waves, is looking a little green around the fur. And she has a bucket in front of her, so she's just like...
I pat Dewan on the back. Lupa will stay with you. You will be okay. I'll be back.
Make the waves stop.
I can't do that. Jacaranda?
Would a gust of wind
No,
help?
no gusts. No gusts, no waves.
That's all I have.
I didn't know if you had control weather.
No, I could.
Mara and Shikari would head up.
You are
I
very...
will try to cure
Cure
You've
nausea.
Wait.
Good.
Wait, can I lesser restoration?
Does lesser,
Oh, yeah. Would that
does
help?
lesser restoration restore motion sickness?
It's like being
Nausea?
poisoned, right?
Is it? It's an
It
inner
is.
ear thing, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's minor maladies. There's no reason why seasickness couldn't be at least temporarily alleviated. By
Yeah, I
some
might come back.
lesser restoration. So
Could I lesser restoration
you
so
can have it.
Dewan could like you don't have to come help, but like so Dewan could like lay down without feeling like they're gonna
Like the world
vomit.
is spinning? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you a peck on the forehead and cast lesser restoration and tell you to take a to lay down for a bit.
I'll reach out and like grab your hand and squeeze it, but I'm like laying down with the bucket, like just my security bucket.
And I'll go up with Mara.
I'll also go up, but I will leave Snappy.
The
Baby.
Snappy's like,
care.
I am brooding in the corner trying to soothe
Yeah.
me.
Mhm.
If anything happens, just let me know. Just be safe. Don't get stepped on, and yeah, you should be fine.
You have a giant wolf and a newly sentient tree.
A giant wolf, a newly sentient tree.
Snapdragon plant, that's right.
Yes, Pestle has appeared out of nowhere and is curled up
All of
on
the
my lower
animals.
abdomen, which makes me think Poultice is somewhere nearby, but you can't see her.
Just
Me-
in the
Because she's
distance
trying
somewhere,
to
you
trip
just-
us as we're going up the stairs.
You
I was like, me?
It's just
Just on the other side of the ship, you just
Anytime-
hear crash.
no, I was in like a dark
swear, anytime
corner.
you're
You
sick-
just see the JoJo going like goo 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 goo.
Anytime you're sick, the mean cat is like on guard duty somewhere that you don't realize people could come and get you from. And like anyone who walks by, like swipe, you can't go in there. My mom's sick.
It's a very ferocious display of affection. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. What I remember, Jacaranda, real quick, can you give me a wisdom check, please?
I don't like that.
Wisdom. 24.
Nice, wonderful. During these last few days,
Oh, wait, wisdom or perception?
wisdom, just base wisdom.
Base wisdom. Okay, 21.
Okay, still fine. During the last couple of days, it has been nice to get a proper, long, extended rainfall. It has actually been a while since you've been able to experience something like that. And it's just nice. It's just pleasant. There's this kind of a rejuvenation around you. I'd like you to go ahead and take a d4 of inspiration that you can go ahead and add to one of your rolls at some point. As it's just this, often not experiencing it for so long, there's just this little pep almost in your step from this nice relaxing rain.
Awesome.
Yeah. Naui, you're the first to go ahead and climb the stairs here, and the first thing you see is a couple of the sailors on either side of the ship, looking out very intently through the mist. One of them has their hand on a small hand crossbow. The other has what appears to be kind of like this small, almost a slingshot of sorts attached to this like box-like object, like, holding towards the side there, looking out, kind of just keeping eyes.
Oh man. Alright. I would turn because I see Mara's like behind me, and just like let you know when we get up there. Like, I think we should be ready. At least seems like everyone is expecting some sort of attack.
Of course. I was like, I just wanted a vacation. But no,
This is the worst
no.
fucking cruise.
I just bought myself a swimsuit. I just want warm sunshine. It's raining. It's awful.
I promised you a boat. I didn't promise you anything else.
I think as I come up and Mara's coming up, I hand you a silk cap, and now he puts one on her head.
Mara turns to Shikari and puts it on Shikari because Mara has this big, huge cloak. Just like,
I don't have any jackets. I'm ready to fight in the bonnet. Let's go.
Love it.
But I'll get my bow out and wait for other people to come up before I talk to sailors.
The cabin boy that you'd seen earlier is next to the stairs that kind of come up to the helm. They're sat there thumbing across the bracelet they put around their wrist and are just still muttering something under their breath, eyes closed. You can see the eyes moving underneath the eyelids, kind of darting rapidly.
can I cast an Arcana check? Because I don't trust this little boy.
Yeah?
Demon child.
I think. Oh wait, maybe they're making a fog cloud.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll an Arcana check. Sure, why not?
I'm waiting. The die is rolling really slow.
Damn.
24.
24.
All right.
Okay. At this point, you've seen plenty of incantations, both arcane and divine in nature, and a few pulling on the primordial constant as well. To your trained eyes, this doesn't look like any kind of magical effect. Judging
Okay.
by the individual's stance, their lack of open vocalizations, like it doesn't sound like they're speaking anything arcane. It just sounds like mutterings in common. And there's no gestures or like magical flashes or anything like that. This just looks like a panicked individual who is trying to keep themselves composed.
This poor boy is praying to his gods, and you just called him Satan.
Well, you know,
Yo, his gods could be Satan.
exactly.
Could be. Yeah, but he's kind of sitting off to the side and just kind of, muttering under his breath. The other two still have their eyes out, but eventually one of them kind of just grumbles to themselves and looks back and just, could you cut it out? You've been at that for like 15 minutes now, and it's getting just a little bit distracting. Cut it out.
I
Turns
think
back.
he is fine.
Turns back towards you, just stares you down once.
How tall is this person?
This individual is probably just like a pretty kind of like bulk standard human build, so like 5'9" maybe.
I walk up with my whole 6'2" frame and look down at them. I think he is fine.
Roll me intimidation, Naui.
Hot. Oh, I have no charisma, so it's just a flat 18.
Pauses. There's this, like, 30-second stare off where you both just kind of hold eye contact. He is the one to break it, first of all, as he looks back towards the boy and just... I suppose it's its first proper time on a long-term sail?
If he's distracting you, perhaps you need better training. Now, what is going on out there?
Turns back out and looks out again towards the horizon. Just these waters are usually fine and safe. Not really any issues. The occasional band of fools trying to rob a place or the like, but we're all pretty damn trained at this point. However, we're getting towards the time when the Walk of the Drowned starts, and that's when things get a little...
The drown.
The who wasa? Yeah.
The Walk of the Drown?
What?
Walk of the Drowned.
Does Mara know anything about the Walk of the Drowned?
Yeah.
Both Naui and Mara can go ahead and roll history checks for me.
Is Jack with us?
Oh yeah, did Jack come up?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then Jack, also roll me a history check, please. Probably with advantage for you, Jacaranda.
Well, I rolled a 3 and a 1, so I don't know.
Hot. Hands.
Your network
on.
of stories and tales do not stretch this far.
No.
I only got a 13.
I'm still rolling because I have a D6 inspiration from our charity stream. So I'm going to use that.
Good timing. Good time to... Well done. Holding on to that. Mm-hmm. All right.
19.
Nice.
19.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you know the Walk of the Drowned. It's not a particularly secret event, but it's also one that people don't particularly understand. For some reason, there is an event that happens specifically in Salia and very specifically in Tarkiza. It happens once a year, and it is the only time that Tarkiza gets any kind of tourism from individuals. Tarkiza is very much a trading place, and has ties with some of the underbellies around Veka in general. But when the Walk of the Drowned happens, there are whole families that will go ahead and travel to Tarkiza, specifically for this event. For some reason, there is a moment that happens every year where the souls of those who are lost at sea are given new life and travel from under the depths to Tarkiza and are given a last moment with their families before they finally pass on. And it started as a strange event. People were concerned and worried when this first started happening. The first documentation was about 1,500 years ago. So this has been a long-standing tradition at this point. Individuals tried to purge the souls, they tried to attack the souls, they tried to ward against them, but they never showed hostility. They never interacted with anyone apart from the person that they were connected to, whether that be a brother, a mother, a son, spouse, etc. They would go and they would have one last moment with their loved ones before moving onwards. It became a tradition. And they realized that a lot of those souls that ended up in Tarkiza didn't have people that matched. Because, of course, the only people who live in Tarkiza are people who live in Tarkiza. So people started getting contacted from other places in Baker. Eventually it became this big ceremony of sorts, where people from around the entire world who had lost people will travel to the port. However, there has also been a bit of a surge as of recent times, within the last 100 years or so, where more twisted creatures, not really spirits, just these amalgamations of negative energies, begin to form and harass sailors. It only really happens within a couple of weeks either side of the Walk of the Drowned. But these spirits are confused, not really spirits, really, to be honest. They don't really have a connection or a consciousness. It's just latent energy that is confused and attempting to be a thing. That can show up as terrible weather, that can show up as magical abnormalities, or that can show up as monsters in the oceans. So that is what you would know with a 19.
So Mara would explain this to Jacaranda really quick, because cleric. Okay. So spirits that have supposedly passed on but maybe have gotten stuck in between come and visit their loved ones. Well, some malevolent, well, I don't want to say malevolent, but maybe confused spirits, not sure where they're supposed to go. Their energies are also coming back in the last 100 years, and they've caused problems. So you and Dewan probably may want to be ready to lay some souls to rest if it comes to that.
Very interesting. I wonder what makes this location special.
I don't know. I've never looked very far into it since I wasn't planning on traveling this way.
It must be high in, like, spiritual energy or something.
Maybe. I don't deal with those type of energies, so I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, besides, you know, with when Lupa happened, so I don't understand them. I think that's the only reason why what I did worked when I saved her back in Evale. Maybe it's something like that. Something like under the water, and that's why no one's seen it, because it's like in there where we are not supposed to go.
Very interesting.
I mean, could be. There are a lot of mysteries that abound I have found since I left home.
So, everyone is worried that some sort of spirit monster will attack the boat, basically?
Basically.
Do the monsters always attack first, or do they attack them because they look scary? Do we know?
She turned to the person who was just talking about the
Walk of the Drowned.
Still looking,
Walk of the Drowned.
still looking out, but he kind of just. It depends. They're not exactly always aggressive. Sometimes they keep themselves to themselves. Sometimes they wander. Sometimes they will directly interact. Sometimes they will be hostile. It really just depends on pure luck, to be honest with you. I don't understand it. I don't even think the people who study it understand it, so.
Are you usually at sea when the walk happens?
Every now and then. It's considered, it's a bit of, it's a bit of a silly sailor thing, but it's, considered a time when good luck is given to you by the rest of the spirits of fellow comrades of the sea.
I don't think that is silly.
Just nods.
Jack will try to entertain the boy by basically doing balloon animals, but with twigs and like druid craft. So like, what do you want? And a dog, like make a little
Okay.
dog or whatever the kid wants.
Out of curiosity, roll me a performance check.
Oh goodness.
You brought this upon yourself.
Natural 20.
Nice.
So that ends up a 23.
What a thing for a natural 20 to go on.
Right?
At first, they don't really pay attention to you. They're still kind of very stuck and internalized. But as soon as that kind of spatial awareness, that spatial sense realizes you're not going anywhere anytime soon, they kind of open up their eyes, and they watch what you're doing, and it takes some time, but you watch the tension and the concern slowly kind of fade out of their body language, and you almost see him kind of like hesitate as he almost wants to say something, but as if he's trying to say something, but he can't quite find the words. And there's this kind of attempt to start, and then he just kind of sinks back into just watching this. And it is indeed soothing to him. The concerns are still there, but they are most certainly waylaid, and he's no longer full-on panicking. Nice.
I'm just intensely watching.
Mara's gonna go to the side of the boat and just keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
easy real quick.
Dawn finally emerges while still holding her bucket. Is everything okay up here? It's quite quiet. No one came back down.
Oh, yeah, waiting for lost spirits, my love.
As soon as you finish that sentence, Nali, you all hear, because your passive perceptions are high enough, you all hear the slightest sound in the very far distance. This very muffled but slightly musical sound that kind of carries through the wind a little bit and then just kind of scatters. Very faint, very difficult to understand from this distance, but you see the sailors kind of stand to attention and take a look around. They both turn from their positions, take a look at each other, and just give each other a little bit of a nod and go back to watching.
So, maybe something like that. Also, I said kitten, not love, just then.
Didn't even notice.
You notice what?
Jesse didn't.
Notice what?
Nothing. No. Did you hear the ethereal wail of the damned, or was that just me?
Oh yes, that is what is going on.
Should I'll come. I feel like I'm going to be needed, and Dawn's fully going to come out and find like a crate and sit on the crate with her bucket, looking around. Spirits, you said?
Yes.
What's this thing? Yeah. Well, I'll let you. You can explain.
Oh,
And then
no,
we cut forward.
Mara knows about it. You should ask her. Some spirits, and they come back, and it's okay, but sometimes it's not okay.
With our luck, it's not going to be okay.
That is fair.
I hope that the little boy isn't standing next to us.
With our luck, he is standing
Oh,
next to us.
No, yeah, that one. does not
With,
count.
with a natural 20, you've distracted him enough that he's not paying attention to your party, and he's also not really paying attention to his surroundings. He's
Okay.
still soothed right now. He's still all right. Wouldn't quite say entranced, but definitely like focused on what you're doing. The minutes pass as a louder kind of just shrill of mostly accurate but slightly off kilter notes in a run. Very long and drawn out. Some of the notes kind of flatten a little bit at the edges. And there's a very, very subtle gust of wind that kind of just sweeps across. There's the slightest of shimmers in the air. I would like everyone to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Good.
Man.
Good.
Do you have an inspiration?
I would have liked to have that nat 20 right now. But instead, wisdom saving throw, you said?
Wisdom saving throw, please.
11.
I will
9.
be using my charity inspiration.
Oh wait, we have another inspiration thing that we got from Ray.
We did.
A D4. Ha!
Yeah, I think.
Oh, I'll be using my charity inspiration first.
Wisdom.
10.
saving throw- Oh my god. What? I don't need it. Never mind. 18. Well, I'm gonna do it just in case. I forgot I had a +8 for my wisdom saving throws.
That'll do her.
Yeah, I just rolled a 2, so
I-
there's no making up for it.
I got a 15.
Okay,
I don't know
so
what any of my
15,
teachers
at least an 18. 10 from Mara, was that?
10 for Mara.
Is
Yeah.
it
10
15?
for Mara.
Is it
and
15?
11.
That's because Mara is opening her mind to any spirits in case she sees Marcus.
22. This is the final number.
Is a 15 sufficient?
A 15 just sent.
Cool. I will not use my D4.
Uh,
I will simply dab.
so
Never mind. I
yourself,
don't want to use my D4 if it's a 50.
yourself and the one save. And
Yay!
Let's go,
Girlfriends.
lesbians.
there's the slight glitter kind of carries through the air and is only really noticeable to all of you because you have experienced magic in the past. Jacaranda and Mara, as you're there and you're listening and talking, there is a sudden lethargy that begins to fill your body. This pull of your energy as you just feel drowsy. You begin to kind of feel yourself slip away a little bit. Mara, your eyes begin to feel a little heavy. Your body is a little difficult to move. Jacaranda, you feel yourself kind of slumping a little bit. You
Am I
can
gonna
feel
sleep for the first time ever?
Oh my god.
You feel the flowers that kind of make up your hair begin to just droop ever so slightly.
Uncalled for.
You kind of look. You look for a moment as you're still kind of entertaining this individual. You can see the color of your bark kind of just beginning to gray a little bit as this worn out feeling begins to come over you.
Oh.
By the way, Shikari got a 19 on his saving.
Shikari's fine.
Shikari is fine.
Shikari is confused by this entire situation.
Why are you taking a nap now?
Yeah. You're not asleep, but you're definitely drowsy. as these little spatters of vocalizations kind of continue through the air. As you kind of look across the crew here, the two who are looking out, one of them has kind of slumped into a little bit more of a relaxed position and is occasionally just kind of tapping themselves in the face to keep them awake. The other one seems fine.
Something's happening. Something's happening.
Can I do like an Arcana check to see what kind of magic is happening and if it's something that like Lesser Restoration could
Sure. Why not?
or either Lesser Restoration or just a good old slap across the face. That is an 18 again.
Okay. You're not particularly familiar with whatever's happening here. This is a pretty new experience for you. But you've seen people become exhausted through the use of magic. You've seen people be put to sleep or be charmed or be lofted with magic. So you don't imagine that a lesser restoration wouldn't work. It would definitely work. The issue would be using a lesser restoration and then this effect taking hold again. You would end up burning through your magical reserves pretty quickly.
Okay. All right. Now I are they like asleep, or are they still falling asleep?
No. It's not
It's
asleep
drowsy.
just yet. It's
Drowsy.
this drowsiness, and it's very clearly like a lethargic drowsiness. It's not just like I'm a little rough, but I'm doing all right. Like you can see Mara and this sailor's body language. You can see the change in Jacaranda's physicality as this begins to take hold. It's very obvious.
Now we should gather everyone close so we are not as spread out. And I'm going to keep like checking Mara's pulse and say to her and also Jacaranda, I could probably revive you, but I don't know if this could happen again. It might be better to just wait and see what is happening.
Do not get everyone in one group, because some magics, if something's attacking us, attack like big groups.
Should we get them below deck?
Yes, I mean, Shikari seems okay. Shikari will protect Mara.
I'm more concerned about the sailors who are just sailors.
Well, we should get the child, and now he picks him up. This is a very big, oh no, is someone steering the ship? I look up where, like, this steering would be.
Oh no, oh no.
You see the captain standing there, kind of keeping watch of his men. You can see that his physicality has also begun to slump, but he seems to be made of sterner stuff than the rest of his crew.
Captain.
He seems to be holding it together a lot better.
Are you okay up there?
Just nods for a little bit before pointing out, I'd appreciate you watching out for each other and for my fools there.
Has this happened before?
Can't say it has. Not for me, anyway.
Concerning.
Okay.
Can Mara cast, or is she just too out of it?
No, you still have your faculties for the moment.
She would cast Intellect Fortress on herself, Jacaranda, and the captain.
Okay.
All right.
Well, if we were going to need help keeping things safe, just to be careful, now he takes out the flower from the veil and plants it on the ship, and like its roots spread out, and they come in, and then the visions of Zawe regains from in front of everybody. So we'll have them around for at least an hour, unless they like get poofed.
Okay. And my Intellect Fortress lasts an hour as well. But it's supposed to give us advantage on wisdom, charisma, and intelligence saving throws. And resistance to psychic damage.
Fantastic. As you're going ahead and getting yourselves prepared here,
and it's concentration, so I will take the time to cast it concentration-wise. Or, I'm sorry, I was thinking ritual. Never mind.
Yeah, no,
Never mind, scratch that.
Just, you need to, yeah. It's all good.
She's sitting there concentrating.
You're all good there. As you're all sitting down and preparing and putting these precautions in place, now that the voice is getting a little closer, you realize it's rotating through languages. It's this discordant half chant, half song that doesn't really carry too far past the ship itself. It doesn't really particularly echo massively. But it seems to be cycling through those of you who speak it or have come into contact with the language before would recognize Celestial, and then switches to Abyssal, and there's another switch to Primordial, and then to Undercommon.
I respond in Primordial. Wait. Can you understand me?
There's no response as you speak, and
I start singing what it's singing.
Just switches again. You sound very freaking creepy.
I can also understand it too.
As you hear the words, "Hush now, call thee down, pull you softly under."
I start doing that and approaching it.
Over. You seem incredibly creepy at this point, Nali, as you step up and out. I'd like everyone to make another wisdom saving throw, please.
I am
Doesn't mean we have advantage.
grabbing it now.
Good thing I have advantage, boy, because I just rolled a 1.
Oh boy.
I also
17.
rolled a 1, so
But you have advantage.
yes. So
17.
saving.
Yep.
Yes.
Save.
Why? What is 19 again? Thank you. 18.
So
Sorry.
24.
16.
Intellect Fortress for the win.
Yeah, because otherwise that was a 1.
Okay. Cool. I got everyone's roll but the ones.
I got 18.
Okay, everyone saves. Excellent. There's another scattering of this dust. It kind of swirl, but thanks to the precautions that you put in place and your heightened awareness, you managed to shake off the effects and keep your faculties in place enough. Mara, Jacaranda, you're still drowsy, but you're not like unconscious or incapacitated by any means. You still have all your abilities and your faculties. You're just a little kind of lethargic about it. You do see, however, one of the first of all, the captain's fine. The captain seems to be, again, seems to be a little kind of out of it, but for the most part, he's there. He's concentrating. One of the other sailors begins to kind of slump down a little bit and kind of tries to keep themselves awake. Looking towards the other one on the other side of the ship, you see their eyes just suddenly kind of close as they just fall asleep, standing up.
I would like to run over and grab that one and hustle him downstairs, down below deck, downstairs, down the ladder.
Jacaranda is going to cast freedom of movement and jump on Nawi. Or no, not jump, just freedom of movement.
Yep.
What?
Oh, I thought Jacaranda was gonna jump on top of Naui. I'm like, what? What is going on here?
Jump is also a spell.
Yeah, you meant the spell jump, right? Not just
Man. And the drama begins. Here comes the love triangle. We've all been
Oh my gosh. Yes, jump is a spell, but I'm not going to cast it yet because it has a short duration, so I'm going to wait.
Okay, so you are now affected by freedom of movement.
Cool. Nothing happens. I'm like going up to this thing unless you stop me.
I said I grabbed, but like I'm grabbing Naui and also like dragging you over. Like I will grab you. I'm grabbing you.
Wait, Naui is leaving the boat?
You can't grab Naui because Naui has freedom of movement.
I'm unable to be grabbed.
Yes.
Well, if you spend 5 feet of movement, you would be able to get out of the restraint.
Yes.
What have you done to my girlfriend?
I'm making sure if anything gets your girlfriend, they will not keep your girlfriend.
I will continue to rescue this asleep sailor.
Is this outside of the boat?
It is. So, it is somewhere off in the ocean. You're not entirely 100% sure. It's not.
Am I? I want to see it. I have really good eyes.
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage because you are looking into like a thick mist right now.
Wow, I rolled 17 twice, so that is
nice.
23? Yeah, 17 plus 6.
Okay. Wonderful. It does take you a minute, even with your good eyes, as you're essentially trying to find a needle in a haystack. But
sick.
There is a glint of a silhouette towards the northmost section, so like the side of the ship, right dead center. There's a very subtle.
How far?
Off in the distance. Probably, like, you would guesstimate, because it is a bit of a guesstimation at this point, somewhere between 100 to 130 foot.
Take me a minute to get out there. Is the boat still moving fast? Does it feel like we're gonna pass it? Or is it like moving?
The boat is still going, but it doesn't look like you're passing whatever this is.
Alright, 1 second, everybody. Yeah. I'm going to this thing.
Death ward?
I have a swim speed.
Well, yeah, you can also with the freedom of movement, your underwater, it imposes no penalties on your movement or attacks.
Oh, sick. I have a swim speed, so I had that, but that's great because they can't grapple me, which is very, very lovely.
But I will also cast Death Ward, just in case.
So, now
Vara's gonna help Dwan with putting the sailors underneath.
Now you better not die. You should
I will be home.
This isn't home either.
I'm muted. The sailor that you've grabbed, they're not resisting you, but they are dead weight, essentially, at this point. So it's not like you're fighting to kind of move them, but you are kind of having
muscles
to
totally
drag
relaxed.
Yeah. You're having to like kind of drag them across.
We'll just put them on Shikari's back.
I would like everyone to make me another wisdom save, as this is all happening.
I can't wait to fall asleep out here.
I can't wait for you.
It's gonna be
They're
great.
not the same.
It's fine.
Another
As long as you don't
one.
roll atrociously, you should be fine.
19.
Don't worry, I got exactly 15 again.
Another
Hey.
24.
19.
21, and Shikari keeps making it. He's just like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Oh, I need to roll for the people.
Oh.
And one's gonna beat Maui's ass. What the fuck was that about on the boat? You called me love, then you jumped off the boat?
Not looking forward to also being in trouble.
So at the very least, everyone made the save, which is good. All of the party made the save. As again, you shake off the effects of this now becoming familiar magical effect. You do successfully manage to kind of pull this individual and kind of slide them messily onto Shikari, who will go ahead and help you with ferrying them downstairs to a spot where they are as safe
I don't know
as
about
possible.
Dewan, but Mara, strength is her dump stat. So.
Hey, same. So the two of us.
Right.
Our
Should be
powers
able to
combine.
just
We have the
bundle.
power of an average person.
It's like Mara and Doan are using all of their strength to just like slowly move someone towards the hatch.
Okay, cool. And now Death Warded with Jacaranda's magical effect here. You move your way towards this silhouette.
My swim speed's 35, so if I move and dash, I can be there in 12 seconds.
Yeah, not long at all as you just zhoosh
Which is
your way.
wild. I just swim 140 feet in 12 seconds.
Wow.
Some things in D&D, when you actually sit down and work out the maths, you're like,
No.
huh.
That is, you just dusted every single Olympic swimmer.
Yes. Yeah. As you approach, the silhouette kind of begins to take a form. Looks like kind of like a straight piece of something at a diagonal, and then a curve underneath that kind of dips underneath the water. There seems to be something attached to the front part. It seems to be a small kind of like point coming off the last section of the structure, and you realize, getting a little closer because it is 12 seconds, getting a little closer, and as the mist begins to kind of fade a little bit and takes more of a form, you realize it looks like a derelict ship. Looks like most of the ship has either been destroyed or drowned underground. Under the water, sorry, not underground.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. And the only thing sticking out currently is the figurehead. And the figurehead is singing. Without moving its lips.
Burn it.
This figurehead of just not really like, it doesn't really resemble anyone. It's just kind of like this your typical, like, you know, beautiful maiden attached to the front here. And now that you've gotten a little closer and it's kind of cycling into languages you understand again, it is singing now. It's full peace. Hush now, call thee down, pull you softly under. Let us beckon thee to rest, slept and pulled asunder. It just repeats that and switches between
Nolly
languages.
hears in their head, "Hey, you alive over there?"
Yes.
Or I can't see anything. She's like a human, so she has no night vision. She's like,
There is a singing ship. I'm going to try and see if I can help it. I am not dead. See? I am okay.
Better not die. Dewan will kill me.
d-
And your mom.
Well, Dewan would kill. Well, my mom would kill Dewan, and I can't let that happen. So.
Dawan would kill Mara, then bring Mara back. Then your mom would kill Mara, then kill me.
Jack Rana would stand still like a tree.
And then once it's safe, yeah, it's like, pass without a trace. Once she leaves, bring everybody back to life.
That was crazy, right? How she killed all of us.
It's that scene where like Baby Groot stops dancing. It's like, and now I can continue.
So the only language that cycles through that I understand is primordial. I would just start. Excuse me, can you hear me, or are you sort of just like a leftover magical thing that's doing its thing?
It doesn't even skip a beat as it rotates. Then from primordial to.
I am coming up to it. I have a climb speed too.
Okay.
Uh,
You get about 20 foot away from it before I need you to make a dex save.
I have a climb speed, Ray. I can just climb stuff.
Not what we're talking about.
All right, that's like a 26, so I'm fine. Please let me climb now.
Okay. You make your way towards it, and just as you begin to kind of get to the derelict itself, you feel a disturbance in the water by you. And your natural instinct takes over. You kind of split your legs and begin to kind of climb this. Just as you hear a you look down underneath you, and in between your legs, aiming for one of your shins, this large rusted anchor is now embedded into the woodwork.
Anchor?
Anchor, yes.
I'm not trying to steal your ship. I'm just trying to... I think something is wrong. You are putting a lot of people to sleep and they could die. So I am here to help you. It's the walk of the drowned. I am seeing if there's someone you need us to reach. We have people with magic that can reach people, so if you need a message, I can help. I say this as I start climbing.
Okay. You can see a clear divide as you're now climbing this thing between what is submerged and what is on show.
Mm-hmm.
What is on show looks like a relatively fresh relic. However, looking underneath the waterline, you can see decades of rot and rust and build-up underneath. There doesn't seem to be any kind of response or even an acknowledgement as you're speaking to this thing. I just need to look at a ranger thing.
A ranger thing, you say? I could help you with that.
Trying to wonder.
What do you want to know if I can do? Because I probably can.
I'm trying to remember whether you're... I'm trying to remember whether it's Pathfinder or D&D, where your primeval awareness, like how your primeval awareness works.
I don't have that.
I've forgotten the rule at all. Oh no, you swapped it out, didn't you?
I swiped it out for the one where you get spells and stuff.
You did indeed.
So
okay,
I can't
cool.
do it anyway.
That is good to know. Okay.
I text the group chat. I think the boat's attacking me. It's not very clear. Someone threw an anchor at me, but I don't see anyone. I am okay. It missed. I'm on the boat. I'm on the boat now.
Did the boat throw the anchor at you?
I don't see a person. I am climbing the boat. It is nice in the air.
Just burn it. Just burn the boat. Just burn the boat.
I don't have fire with me. I don't do fire magic.
Fireball launches itself.
If I give you my coordinates, could you send one over?
Wait, could I?
Mm.
You're playing a game of battleships all of a sudden. It's like E3.
It's technically right outside of the range of fireball because it's 130 feet, as if
yeah,
Ray read the rules.
I mean, I don't have
I
fireball.
actually didn't. It was total luck.
I only have a sacred flame, and that's 60 foot.
Well, swim at like halfway here.
I don't swim.
I have a climb speed. I do not have a swim.
Mara's like, okay, Jacaranda and Captain, try to steal yourself. That's the best way she can say, make your freaking wisdom throw. And she's gonna drop the intellect fortress and she's gonna cast fly on me, the one, and Jacaranda. We're gonna go flying over there.
Which sounds like a perfect time for a wisdom save that I was gonna say even if you didn't drop an intellect fortress, but now you've dropped intellect fortress.
No.
It's okay. I still made it. 20.
I did not.
Oh no.
What?
20.
I forgot to tell myself to steal myself.
Yeah.
You gotta pep talk yourself. Bards always forget to pep talk themselves. They're always like,
I forgot.
Everyone else, you got this. What about yourself? I'm just here to support you, man.
Right.
How bad was the fail?
5 is my total.
Okay.
Oh no!
I rolled a 2.
Okay, 2. Right. Okay.
Oh my
I
god!
rolled a 2.
Wasn't it
I
a
can't.
natural one?
I can't help you. I rolled a 15. It's a 15. The total is
Okay,
15.
so you just
I just saved.
Jacaranda saves. Nawi?
15.
15.
I was given a target, and I look into
Yeah, just,
And of course, Shikari is still perfectly fine.
Shikari's like, what is going on? Why is everyone being so weird?
Why does she keep falling down? I don't get this.
I will cast wow, why am I blanking on it? The thing that makes it go away. Lesser restoration. And then I will say in our heads, like, to cover our ears, and I'll give some type of, I'll pull like cotton out of a thing in my bag or cotton equivalent, so that we can't hear the singing, which is what I'm assuming is making us sleep.
What is your wisdom save modifier, Mara?
3.
What if
Again, bard.
What? Okay, but like,
not cleric.
Hear me out. Hear me out. What if I just deafen you?
That's fine.
I mean, I was
We
just
do
handing out cotton, so you
Yeah.
can take it out when you want to.
I mean, because we can all communicate
Exactly.
mentals. I don't need to hear.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
So, it's sorry, the picture in my head of how this all plays out is just funny to me. Just this whole, like, Mara goes ahead and casts fly, and then that urge begins to overtake you, and you're like 5 foot off the ground, floating up in fly, when suddenly you just kind of just fall asleep, floating in the air in position before Jacaranda walks over, slaps you with a restoration, and just hands you a cotton, like a section of cotton, like, this is gonna happen.
Get your head in the game.
And
too.
then Dawan comes over and goes, "What if you're deaf?"
Don't know until you try.
That's fine.
Can we make this be? And it's a con save technically. Can we just wipe the con save because it's a consensual deafening?
I mean, yeah, you can choose to fail a save. Whenever
Yes.
you want.
I am choosing to fail.
Yeah, so you can just go ahead and cast, I assume, blindness deafness.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Cool.
Okay,
cool.
I'm
Yeah.
deaf.
So you are deafened.
I'm
The-
gonna wait until we're like actually in the ship for
The
time wise.
cotton for yourself, for Jacaranda, and for the captain is still incredibly helpful. It's not a definitive sound barrier, but it certainly helps. So any wisdom saves that you have to make for this effect will be an advantage for as long as you need to make them.
As we go flying off the ship.
You would hear from Naui. I'm going to see what I can find out. I'm gonna go underwater. Nothing's going on at the top of the boat, right? Like it's just the mast. I don't like. There's no magic squiggles.
Nope, just an abandoned ship with a singing.
Jumping off mast
Singing
into water.
Okay, cool. You're going to need to go ahead and make me another dex check. Dex save, sorry.
Yeah. As 20 something.
Okay, cool.
21.
You go ahead and
I'm a
dive in
ranger.
again as you hear the slight chunk underwater of both movement and breaking wood as this anchor swings back around, and as it does so, partly because you're already a skilled individual, partly because freedom of movement is great, you deftly and effortlessly kind of swing past this anchor as it sails past you and buries into a nearby rock off on the ground here. The rest of the wreckage is incredibly dilapidated. There is a huge split in the bottom of the ship itself from where it very clearly hit something and took on way too much water way too quickly. Not a modern ship by any means. You've not really been on the core plane that much, but you've seen enough vessels to know that this is very old. To what degree, you're not entirely sure. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
As we're flying over there, Mara's like, okay, you guys like do your banish ghosty thing or whatever you do, and I'll watch your backs.
When we get within 60 feet, Jacaranda will vibe check the area.
I only got a 16.
Okay. Also, Naui, do you have dark vision?
Do I have dark vision? I have blind sense.
Cool.
Just the built-in
So I don't have
radar.
dark vision.
Ping.
Yeah, I have radar. Ah!
Okay, good to know. Yes, you're gonna be able to pick up some details, but definitely not as much as perhaps you would hope. Nothing really sticks out to you as particularly like, oh, that's a magical device, or oh, that's a horrible creature, or
I don't see like where the anchor's coming from. It's just like coming out of the ether.
the anchor. Now that you are now that you're underwater, the anchor seems to be coming from the bottom of the ocean.
Hmm?
There is like that other end of the boat is still intact-ish, and there
Hold
is
your breath rules are a minute per your con mod, right?
Yep, a minute per combat.
Okay, yeah, I got time.
And then if you get smacked for some reason, then you have to make a con save.
Yeah,
But, your dex saves have been fine so far. So
let's
yeah,
see.
there is this just an anchor set up, like you would expect on a regular ship. There's nothing special about it.
Perfect. Then I know what I'm doing next.
Okay.
I'm going to try and talk to the ship.
Okay. Sure thing. Before that happens, two things. One, as everyone is on the ship, You hear the slump downstairs of like someone rolling off of where Shikari had placed them, and just a groggy like, my head, what in the, I don't, like, just random mumbling. You see the captain also begin to regain their faculties to a degree. The drowsiness begins to kind of wear off as they find a little bit more strength in their stance and their posture. The third sailor, however, very suddenly, after looking at his friend and kind of looking at the captain, looking at yourselves and kind of nodding along with you, he very quickly slips into this tired state. And with a natural 1, as he begins to kind of slip and his body begins to relax, the mist begins to swirl just a little bit around the ship. There's 2 wisps, one from one side, one from the other, that suddenly shoot directly in front of the individual and swirl around just in front, creating this humanoid-esque figure before. This creature that begins to form is the same shade of grey as this mist, and seems to have a humanoid-esque torso, though no real shape to it. Very kind of rounded, and sections of random muscle and fat structure kind of just dotted across the torso. It doesn't really make any kind of anatomical sense. As they form, this torso comes up to almost in the center of the top part where the collarbone would normally be. This elongated neck ending in a very humanoid-like face with these kind of just soulless black eyes that seem to be dripping with this seawater across, this salt buildup across their skin itself. One arm slumps down, and below the forearm you can see this large elongated spike that seems to be made of some kind of bone-like structure. As the form begins to manifest fully now, you can see that its legs, if you can call them that, are the same. These 2 long bone-like spikes. And the other arm continues until about the elbow, where it changes entirely, and almost like a gelatin-like liquid, the arm extends and extends and extends and slumps down to the ground. There's a fully humanoid hand attached to the other end with a spike driven through it of the same material. And as it forms in front of the sailor here, it, with its arm down here and one of them, it reaches forwards and just wraps an arm around the sailor. The sailor in his groggy state and sleep just kind of wraps his arms around the creature instinctively. They pause there for just a moment as you see the drowsiness then set into a pained unconsciousness. You watch as his face kind of scrunches in his sleep and he begins to shake and shift a little bit. What do you do?
Jacaranda's going back. She says, I have to go back in their heads through the rings, and is going back to the ship. The original ship.
So we're all the way at the haunted ship now?
Ghost ship.
Or we're still on
the ship.
The original ship.
This was before you, this was after you had set yourselves up, before you had actually fully departed.
Okay,
So,
so
we
we're
are
still
hovering.
here.
We're not
Because
flying.
this was a process that was happening as this was going on.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're still
So
under
Mara,
flying. Mara's concentration didn't break, even though they had been affected by the spell. So you are still under the effects of flying.
Do we think these things are like undead, like spirits, ghosts? Like, is that what we would we assume this, or?
Roll me a nature check.
So that's gonna be
Mara's gonna psychic glance. 'Cause she
only
has
11.
It looks malevolent. She's just going to kill it.
So an 11.
Okay, an 11. You're not entirely sure. You haven't really encountered a creature like this before, and there's no real telltale signs of anything. So you're not 100% sure what exactly this thing is. Mara, you said you were going to psychic glance it?
Yes. So it has to make an intelligence throw.
Okay, excellent. Intelligence. Natural 20. I assume it takes half damage.
It does take half damage, so hold on. So half of 27.
27. All right. Sweet. As what does this look like actually? As you
What would Mara's psychic glance look like? Mara's psychic lance actually would look like a spear, but it would look like a dragon's tail, you know, like that shape, and she would chuck it from her forehead. Apparently that's how psychic lance works, because that's not weird. She Professor X's it and this dragon tail whacks out and smacks.
Dragon tails?
Yeah, 'cause she's got the dragon wings now, so. And the
Mara
most powerful beings we've seen have been
Mara
these
is
dragons.
just like
a
actual
dragon
Rochelle. They're just
turning
fans.
into a
It is
dragon.
true.
Self-insert.
Yes, it's the love for dragons self-insert. I respect it. I like
Well, one of her languages is Draconic, so
There you go. There you go.
she had to learn it somehow.
Yeah, you watch as this creature writhes in pain as your lance hits, and it's this weird, horrible, like inhale shriek as it kind of twists, and still like the sailor hasn't let go of the creature. It hasn't been harmed by your attack, but they're not letting go of the creatures. The creature's like got this guy attached to him. Essentially, he's just wiggling around a little bit. The body doesn't twist. The head literally just extends and turns around, comes upwards, and twists 180 to face you. You see the seawater kind of beginning to drip a little more as it stares you down with these just pure black eyes.
Turn undead.
Okay. All right. That is a wisdom save on undead, I believe.
I believe so.
I got the natural 20 out of the way for you so that.
Yeah. So technically it's destroy undead at this point.
Yeah, if it's a low enough CR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where is it? I don't see the turn undead, destroy undead. I'm only seeing
It's under if you
I went to features and traits, but for some reason it's only showing me the
if you click on it,
preserve life.
it might show you.
And it says destroy undead. Okay, yeah. If I click on destroy undead.
Yeah. It scales from like CR quarter to CR like 1 or 2, I believe it is. Like it's built for dealing with like large crowds of undead when you're just like, No.
Here
Turn.
it is.
There we go.
Wisdom saving throw. Correct.
Cool. That is a 18 and a 19.
So that is. It's probably high enough. Yeah, freaking 17 is my DC. So yeah, they both are
I'm very
fine.
sorry.
Dang it.
Cool. So
When I'm a bard lock and can hex, tell you what.
the individual in front of you doesn't react. However, almost seemingly out of the ether, there are two bolts of grey light that suddenly pulse and don't even make a noise. They just pulse and suddenly bolt. And Nawi, as you're underwater checking this out, you see just above you this reflection of light as these two bolts of grey energy slam into the maiden that's at the very front of the ship and just seem to disappear into it. It is about then. But I need everyone to make another wisdom save.
27.
Do we have advantage because of cotton?
Oh, right.
Oh, we have
Yeah,
advantage.
yeah, yeah.
I'll try it with you.
And Nawi, you would have advantage.
Still
because you are
18.
underwater.
Peter Cottontail, giving you advantage on the bunny trail.
Still
Hippity
15.
hoppity, I got an unnatural 20.
Ooh.
Nice. 15.
What is with y'all, like, either making the save perfectly or just blasting it out of the water? What's going on here? Okay, cool. So natural 20, 15, what was that for Mara? And what was that for Jacaranda?
27.
Okay,
Jesus.
yeah, you're good.
18.
You're good. Okay. You all make the save as this creature is still kind of writhing and rocking just a little bit. Its head now fully turned and focusing towards you. These two spirits strike into the maiden itself, and the mist begins to churn and twist once more as out from the mist, constructing in the same way, is another one of these creatures that appears on the deck of the ship. And then another, and then another. And the four of these beasts, these strange, corrupted creatures begin to slowly scout out between all of you. And that's where we'll go ahead and end the session, as these creatures stare you down. And Nawi is still checking out the ruins of the ship, trying to find whatever clues they can to figure out what they can do. And yeah, you can definitely go ahead and have a chat with the ship and see what else is happening here next time.
And so basically before anything else happens, like after Jacaranda turned undead, she went below to try to find the boy at least, and then she's gonna make sure he puts cotton in his ears and try to just like get him somewhere safe and protect him.
just like, hi, I know you just woke up here. Just jam it. You can 100% do that as this as the like psychic glance happens, and yeah, you can 100% make sure that they are safe and as secured as you can make them. And they did actually make their save anyway, so they're good on that front. They're drowsy, but they are unconscious.
Okay.
But yeah, cool. We'll pick up that little creepy cliffhanger next time.
Just wanted a nice cruise. Oh.
You got Ghost Ship. I'm excited for Ghost Ship.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were like, y'all were the ones who were like, I'm gonna wear a swimsuit, blah blah blah. I'm like, I never promised Ed. I said you were going on a boat. I never said it was gonna be nice weather. I never said you were going like
to swimsuit season.
I wanted swimsuit season to make Dawn sweat. No, he definitely has a swimsuit for Dawn. So
the beach episode, the obligatory beach episode is coming. It's just not yet.
Well, I hope Dewan is ready because now he has picked out a swimsuit to wear for her.
Okay, but every time you say swimsuit with the emphasis of suit, I just picture like Nawi in like a 3-piece suit.
Like that wouldn't make Dewan sweat?
at the beach.
Like that wouldn't make Dewan sweat. Okay.
I mean, it would, but it would also make her incredibly concerned that Nawi would suffer from heat stroke while on a beach.
She's died once. She'll be fine.
No!
Look, I just think that femmes in suits. Anyway.
We digress.
We digress. Yeah, let's go ahead and quickly go around the horn here. Let people say hi, plug what they want to plug. Hi, Raiders. Thank you for coming on in and saying hello. We're going to just quickly say hi to everybody. Pass the love on elsewhere afterwards. And hey, you came in at the end of the episode, but this'll be on VOD afterwards. You should definitely go ahead and check out the full episode from the beginning. Okay, that's me with the shameless plug. Austin.
Wow, it's me first. I was very ready. Hey, I'm Austin. You can find me on Twitter still at SailorScott It's at Sailor SCT Austin. I'm also technically on TikTok. I don't use it a lot, but I guess I'll start pushing that now too. I am a narrative and game designer and TTRPG performer. I don't do a lot of normal stuff. I do this, and I'm in Transplanter. I do more like charity stuff, but I'm more of a narrative and game designer. So check me out on Twitter, see some of my projects. Demos Academy just wrapped up. ML Templars is going on Kickstarter still right now. And I'm on other stuff not announced yet. Back to you, Ray.
Gonna popcorn it straight to Melissa.
I am Melissa, also known as So Much Geek, SEW Much Geek. I sometimes do random charity streams as well. Other times just hang out with friends who are doing fun things. Twitter is probably the best way to find out what I'm doing, whether it's art things that are for sale or just to share with friends to see what I'm doing and making. And that is the gist of it.
Rochelle.
Hi, I'm Rochelle, Dragon Gem here on Twitch, The Dragon Gem on Twitter. I stream on my own channel. I stream lots of puzzle games on Sundays and Wednesdays. All proceeds from my channel are donated to local animal shelters in my area. And also, one last thing I have to say is Spelljammer confirmed, baby! Yes, yes, yes!
Oh my god.
I was very hyped. I still am very hyped. I have ascended this mortal plane. Jesse.
Hello, I'm Jessie, Jahoos the Moose on the interwebs. I also do art things. I will actually be I'm doing the portraits for At Thorny Dryads Masks game coming up in May. Christian, if you're in chat, you can confirm that because I don't know the exact date.
It's Sunday, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday.
Is it this Sunday?
About it earlier.
Okay.
I believe it's this Sunday. I'm not 100% sure, but
I have 2 more portraits to finish. They'll be finished in time. They're super cool. I'm really excited. They're really like minimalist and cool. Yeah, I also hang out in other friends' streams. So don't be surprised if you go onto someone's stream and all of a sudden there's a moose talking.
they also did all of this.
I also did all of this.
All of this.
all of this.
All of this.
And more to come, which is very exciting.
Oh my god, more to come.
Sweet. Cool. As always, follow all of these wonderful people in all that they do. I bloody love playing with them. They are fantastic and wonderful, and you should go ahead and follow them. Hi, I'm Ray, your GM for The Mind and the Martyr. You can go ahead and find me at Red Mage Ray on Twitter. You can also find me usually here doing this or behind the scenes on Friends Who Roll Dice. I am a fellow co-founder and one of the members of the leadership team. So you'll find me in the background a lot, whether that be production or just making sure that cool people get a chance to shine. You should definitely keep an eye on the channel because there's a few projects in the works that we're kind of finalizing around that we're super hyped to actually announce. within the next couple of weeks, at the very least. So yeah, keep an eye on the channels here. If you're interested in other stuff that I do, the answer is not much. I'm trying to release some stuff a little bit more often. So there's a few projects I'm working on elsewhere, which I'm super hype about. Eventually, the last episode of the Hades game, the Hades charity game, will be performed, and we can go ahead and have a very gay date between everyone. It will be wonderful. And a couple of things that I can't talk about. So yeah, that's it from me. So we're going to go ahead and take the love that you have all sent us and move it on elsewhere. Thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you, Raiders, for dropping in and saying hi. Definitely go ahead and check us out. On here, if you want to catch up with the Mind of the Martyr on Twitch itself, all the VODs are saved. There's also our YouTube channel that you can go ahead and catch up with all of Friends Who Roll Dice's content. We're slowly getting through all the backlog of stuff, of the many amazing charity games and stuff that we've done with people. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you to all of our affiliates and Roll20 for being awesome. And yeah, hydrate, keep well, keep safe, and keep moving forward. And we will see you next time. Take care now. Bye.